everyone. Welcome to Tell Me Why, the program for American Airlines team members that looks at the why behind all the news, information, and everything exciting that's happening at American Airlines. And it's a big day today. News is out on Summer 2024 Network. Also some updates to our winter schedule. Couldn't have a better guest in the studio than Brian Znotins, SVP Network Planning. Brian, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ron?
Going to get to the questions in a second. Going to run through the news real quick. You know, our team members obviously can find this information on JetNet. Those outside can go to news.aa.com. American adding flights to 3 new European cities in 2024, Copenhagen, Nice, and Naples. This will be for next summer. We'll also launch new service between DFW and Barcelona and bring back flights between Chicago and Venice, Italy. This will be the largest European expansion in 4 years. In addition to that, we have our largest ever winter schedule between the U.S. and Mexico, the Caribbean, and Latin America. We will get to that piece in a second. Let's start with the summer. Big announcement. Walk us through it. Why, how, what? How's this all come to be?
Well, Ron, we continue to evolve our summer strategy as it relates to wide bodies, and it's all related to wanting to find year-round homes for airplanes. And you might say, well, we're going to be flying Venice seasonally and Naples seasonally, so how's that a year-round home for an airplane? What we're actually doing is we're taking airplanes that fly DFW Auckland in the winter, and we call that a counter-cyclical opportunity, and then we use that airplane to fly O'Hare Venice or Philly to Naples in the summer months. And we are pairing those airplanes together as much as we can so that when we buy a wide body, we don't find ourselves flying it to Dubrovnik in the summer, and then we put it in the domestic system in the winter where it underperforms a narrow body, it has a higher seat cost, and for the whole year added up, even though Dubrovnik was okay in the summer, flying that airplane domestically in the winter, we ended up losing money on that airplane on a year-round basis. And so with the pandemic, we took a number of those airplanes out of the fleet. We said that's not a good, profitable thing for American to do. And instead, when we buy wide-body airplanes, we're going to find these year-round homes. And furthermore, what we do is we try to target our heavy maintenance on these airplanes into the winter months as well. So you can not just pair with a DFW Auckland, you can pair with a maintenance allocation in the winter. And so we have about 90 airplanes that run on a year-round basis to the same market, and then we have about 20 airplanes that pair up with a winter deployment, either South Pacific or South America, something that works well in the winter months. And then we have about a dozen airplanes that pair up with a maintenance opportunity in the winter. And so last summer, we decided that with Boeing delays and uncertainty around deliveries, we really wanted to add new destinations last summer, but we thought there was a lot of risk to that. If Boeing further delayed airplanes and we had announced new Philly to Naples service, and we had to pull that flight down, it's really hard to get those passengers to Naples that we sold them tickets for. Right. But instead, we took a lower risk approach and we said, okay, let's add extra flights to Rome and to Athens and to Paris. And if Boeing doesn't deliver airplanes, we've got plenty of capacity to move those passengers to other flights in that market. And so we didn't need to add the new destinations last summer. But this summer, we've got the airplanes from Boeing, we're ready to rock and roll, and we're excited to have new destinations in the mix.
And I know you're always thinking through the network. I mean, what kind of jumped out at you at these 3 new markets we're going to?
Well, like in Copenhagen, for example, by offering service to Philadelphia, we will offer more single connects across the U.S. to Copenhagen than any other airline. So we're really leveraging the power of the hub there, and that applies as well to Naples and Nice. And O'Hare Venice is a route that we really liked back in 2019. We just didn't have the opportunity to fly it, like I said, with Boeing delays and whatnot. And then with DFW Barcelona, DFW has done really well to Europe for us. We had 2 Rome flights last summer. They both just killed it. And so we're excited to put Barcelona into the mix for this summer season.
That's great. Before we get to the summer, got to go through the winter.
Yeah.
Also in the announcement out, expansion down to Mexico, Caribbean, and Latin America. Talk through this a little bit and why this decision was made.
Well, we've been having great results in our leisure flying to Caribbean and Latin America, not only from Miami, which is our primary gateway, but from markets like Charlotte as well. And so we've taken a number of routes, and we're just adding capacity in different ways. And so Miami is going to be the biggest Miami ever for us. It's really exciting to see the gateway grow like that. But then in other hubs, we'll be taking markets that might have been 3 a week and moving them to daily or starting the season earlier. We've added a host of new destinations in the Caribbean that are doing really well for us, like Tortola. That's just killing it for us right now. We're really happy. So As we grow not only long-haul international, we're focusing on our short-haul international market as well. And so in total this winter, we're going to be up about 10% in capacity in this region. And that is, on our size, 10% is a lot of seats adding in the market.
That's great. And you mentioned, of course, with next summer, you mentioned Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So with the NEA and that wind down, always a lot of interest on what's going on in the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Talk through a little bit about, Philly and New York and how the role they play in the network.
Yeah, they're two different hubs for us. Philadelphia, we have the opportunity to bring in 40 flights domestically all at the same time, and they all connect to Copenhagen. And that's why we're going to be so awesome in Copenhagen, because we can get so many people from across the U.S. efficiently into the market. In JFK, we have gate limitations and slot limitations, and so you can only bring about 8 or 9 flights in to JFK. And so when we fly from JFK, it's really about the local market. Can we sell to New Yorkers? And then when we fly from Philadelphia, it's really about the entire U.S. Can we sell to the entire U.S.? And for some markets like Delhi and Tel Aviv, it's all about the New York local market. That's where the huge populations are that want to go to those points. And then for other markets like Naples and Copenhagen, it's better to be in Philadelphia. So it's really not a trade-off of one versus the other. It's what do we want to do with that route? And is JFK best suited for us to do that, or is Philadelphia best suited? And in this case, for the summer, we're looking to get people from all over the country to these new destinations, and Philadelphia does that better than any of our other hubs.
That's great. And I can't let you go without this final question. Leading up to today's announcement, had a couple teasers out there on social media with you and your team getting great response. I mean, is this a social media stardom in the making here?
Well, I might actually have to get an Instagram account. But no, I don't think I'll be starting any TikTok videos or YouTube videos or anything like that. This is a one-time only thing for me. My team, though,
okay,
they're ready. They want more.
Well, if you change your mind, you want to do a big launch, let us know. We'll have you back on.
Fantastic.
At American Air, of course, on the social channels. You can find all that information. Of course, all the news out today. JetNet on our newsroom. You can find all the information and where we're going, the winter, the summer. It's big network announcement out today. Thank you for being here. As you know, tell me why it lives on JetNet. It's out where you pick up all your podcasts as well. Note for American Airlines team members here, we head to the back half of this year. If you things you want to learn about, know about, ask about, drop us a line. We'll be happy to get you experts like Brian on the program to bring the information and the why to you. Thanks for being here. See you on the next episode of Tell Me Why.